Boom.
All right.
Know what I'm saying?
Look lively, gentlemen.
Brand new flavor in your ear.
Boom. Now we are live.
Brand new flavor in your ear.
All right. All right.
All right. So, happy Sunday, motherfuckers. What's going on?
Well, welcome. So we had some good discussions off the air.
Yeah, facts.
And we will bring them back.
Because
on
we
in a
want to know
second.
what y'all need to hear. You know what I'm saying? While set your mood and get yourself ready.
Boom. There it is. All right. So that's the YouTube. You guys should go there so you can see what we're seeing, hear what we're hearing, and talk to us.
And think what we're thinking.
The man to my right is Zelda Sensei.
Don't be scared.
The man to his right is Asimov.
Greetings and salutations. Fuck me, though. We got Elder Sensei in the building, though.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like, yo, man, shit. I actually get to say this because this is the first time I've been on a mic to tell you this. Like, yo, man, artifacts.
Man, hey,
Ridiculous, right? Like, thank you. You know what I mean? And then, like, shit, afterwards from that, it's like, definitely, like, the shit you've done solo is dope as fuck. I hope people have been, like, tapped in through the whole journey because it's like, yo, you know, when you and Tame do your thing, it's always a blessing, man. But you on your own, man, your solo shit is really fucking fire, yo.
and as I get myself prepared and put my headphones on, I have to thank you very much for that. Because,
Yeah, man.
you know, you never know getting into this. You know, we didn't have a plan. on
Yeah.
How any of this was going to work. So I got into it because of things like that. Because getting into it, we wasn't making no money. You know, we just really wanted to be like our heroes, you know, which were, for me, growing up, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Chuck D, G-Rap.
And what heroes, they're like
yo.
those are like Marvel level heroes
Right.
when
Yeah.
you're a fucking kid in hip hop, right? Like
I feel like the Mount Rushmore is all those. Yeah.
straight the fuck up. You have Rakim, yeah, without question.
Exactly,
Yeah,
Rakim
without
too.
question, yo.
Those is like my lyrical blueprint dudes, you know. And I didn't know. I'm like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna be good doing this, you know. And you just practice. And you know, everybody that started off like I did all sounded like the rappers that they listen to. So
Like
As you should, though,
exactly,
yeah.
but like exactly, like they didn't add any of themselves to it, to the recipe. It was more like just a very good rendition of
Right.
a good copy of.
Somebody.
Yeah. And I would imagine at the time there wasn't too many dudes doing it like there is today. So it was easier to identify, like, yo, he's a big fan of that guy. I could tell.
right.
But you guys had to inject some of yourselves. One of the big things I wanted to talk about too was, because when you come out west, graffiti is just, you know what I mean? It's literally everywhere.
I mean, the reason that we were so tapped in with y'all music was because every writer out here that was a hip hop head is like, you could not be a hip hop head out here if you weren't bumping artifacts. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah. So
Like, there were a few groups, you know what I mean? Like, you had to have, like, Mobb Deep in your deck. You had to have Wu in your deck. You know what I
the
mean? And
artifacts are
had
right
to have
there.
y'all, because wrong side of the tracks out here, I'm not even going to lie. Fuck, I almost got caught catching some tags with it. I was out with friends catching tags with it. Like, I remember really good memories, you know what I'm saying? Bullshit and getting fucked up to that one. And that was, like, in real time when y'all had dropped that.
Right. I mean, like, and I'm gonna blame Lord Jamar from Brand Nubian for wrong side of the tracks, because if it wasn't for him, we was at Sadat's crib.
Okay.
And you know, like when we met them at Harlem, 125th Street at the State Building. They had an MTV show. We only went to go see them perform. So when they got off, I walked up to them straight, you know, whatever, fanned out. I didn't care. I was like, yo.
I mean, how could you not, man?
We wouldn't be here today if I didn't.
Yeah, man, come on,
I
man.
always tell people, like, have your moment. So my moment was with Jamar and Sadat. And, you know, Pooba wasn't there, but I just gave him my number. I let him listen to, you know, the demos we had. He listened to one thing. He's like, yo, give me a phone number.
What was in
And,
the demo, yo?
Actually.
Was any of the joints eventually on the album, on the
Yeah,
demo?
we actually wound up putting a demo album out on Smoke On Records. There's a album right now. It's called That's Them Lost Files. We had songs on there from 89 to 92.
Wow.
So some of these songs were what we used to play them. And then we got to Sadat crib, and we never was like pushing them to be like, you know, put us on, nothing like that. We were just
You're
like,
just like, we doing our thing.
we were just friends with them.
That's tight.
And one day Jamar was like, yo, when y'all come through, we're gonna record. So he sat us down and was like, yo, so like, what's y'all thing? Like, what do y'all do? Like, what make y'all different from putting this record out, if y'all want to put a record out from everybody else? So we was like, we still do graffiti. We still do the things that tool-wise and culture-wise that, even though we in the 90s, we still doing, I took Tame as a graffiti artist.
70s, 80s, like really deep into the fucking deal still.
And this is like 92, 93. Yeah, about that, 92. So, he's like, so we told him, and he said, so won't y'all write about that? Write about graffiti, write about y'all childhood, write about things that y'all grew up doing, just put that on paper. And we wrote it, and the song you hear today, lyric-wise and everything, is what we said in Sadat's basement. It's just that when it came time to put the record out, the label didn't want to clear the sample because it was a James Brown sample.
Right.
So
how did that fare? Like, did y'all?
Of course, I know Jamar was not happy about that, and we had to switch. We had to change the beat. So I just told him, to make another one, and we could try to replace it. But they was on tour, so they was doing brand new beat and stuff. And we had got the deal, so like we was working with T-Ray. So once we got into doing the record, I just kept the hook the way and the way I'm saying the hook, Jamar wrote the hook. So those words I'm spitting, Jamar wrote. It's just that we couldn't do the hook again. So and the label, he's cursing in the hook and everything, and they's like, when you do the hook, you don't curse, don't say motherfucker. Nah, all right, cool. So we had to just change. We just had to change a few things, and before we put it out. But like, we all must say today it is Jamar's fault for the wrong side of the tracks happening.
That's fire.
So the original version, it was him on the hook.
Yeah, and you can hear the original version if you go on YouTube right now. You can just put in Artifacts demo.
Shit, he walked out right when I was going to ask him to do it.
Oh, we'll probably get flagged if we play that shit, man.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, no.
It's cool, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Hey, we need that.
We're going to pull that up, and that's why you guys in here should go to
Sev,
YouTube.
Angel, we see you.
Go to the YouTube so you can hear this Wrong Side of the Tracks original version. The link's in here. YouTube, Pawz One Podcast, all spelled out, Pawzone podcast. Go there. We're going to play this Artifacts.
You got to put it wrong, but put demo.
Yeah. Put demo.
Wrong side demo.
So there you are. What's going to make you different? We still do graffiti, and you're already working with dudes that are established, and it's like.
But we didn't know doing a song about graffiti. I mean, we thought.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
All right, here we go.
Man, I love old pictures of tapes and shit.
Right.
Like, that's fire.
Just because I'm generous, I'm going to show you guys this real quick. Let me flip this can I flip this camera? Or I'll just do it like this.
Y'all need to go tap in with that joint if you never have before.
Gotta go to the.
Right, Jamar, he produced it, did the hook, everything.
So this is the one that he produced.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, no shit. That was a James Brown fucking sample. Okay.
Artifacts from the wrong fucking side of the tracks. Artifacts from the wrong side. Artifacts from the wrong fucking side of the tracks. Artifacts from
Same
the wrong
words.
side. Artifacts from the wrong fucking side of the tracks. Artifacts from the wrong side. Artifacts from the wrong fucking side of the tracks. Artifacts from
That
the
one
wrong side.
fucking.
I'm out around like Vietnam. The same name, same one. The bad one. Angel master with the magnum. I tagged up quick and then I stepped till the exit.
Whole
When it's
different
time to
energy
get
to it,
set.
too.
I'm fresh
Yeah.
on some fresh shit.
This is like a
Whack
B-boy
from
jam,
whack.
yo.
We sound mad young, too.
I knew it was
Yeah.
bad because the bag wrote his name crooked.
But it's did they speed y'all up?
I got my prop.
This is
My tag
how-
was
this is how small we sound.
So what's the difference in time from that to the one that comes out eventually?
Now, when we knew that we couldn't use this version,
Yeah.
we automatically was already working with T-Ray. So we used to go to Brooklyn to T-Ray's crib. Man, T-Ray had records for days, so we would sit in there, and knowing we had to redo the song, we was like, okay, we like this record. We was just digging in his crates or whatever, and we was already knowing the drums that we had, and it was the same drums Black Moon used for how many MCs.
Yep.
We knew that people used this Ninth Creation sample from Chubb Rock to Entice to Third Base to Pete Rock. We was like, okay, we want to use it, so we still want to use it.
Yeah.
And the thing that made that song the biggest thing was the horns.
The horns are, but that shit made it stand out though.
Jack
too.
Bruce,
Like,
Jack Bruce horns, man. I don't know. But when we found it was we played the record, and it was when it was doing all that, we was like, damn, what's that? Oh, and then when it got to that one,
man.
we lost it. We was like, okay, that's in the song. And then he found the other ones later on through the song. So we didn't think making a song about something we normally do on the regular would affect the whole, let's say, world.
Yeah,
and in a way of where, like, even when you say, I have a lot of dudes out here, like, come up to me, and I be nervous too. I mean, oh my God, I know where I come from. I hope this dude, and know it could be the hardest looking dude, man. And they like, nah, bro, look, I grew up listening to that record, and we used to go play the record while we painting, and I still say it to this day.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't like being known for their first hit song, so it's got people look at Thong Song. These people they don't like doing their songs. They get tired of it. I'm like, look, until I'm in the wheelchair, I will be singing wrong side of the tracks until I'm dead.
Not? Yeah, exactly. Like shit.
I have no problem representing that.
Yo,
song.
it's fucking great. So going back to what I was saying about being out here, I think we talked about it a little bit off the air. Like, so the appreciation here is still alive and well for your contribution.
Yeah.
Then and now.
Yeah.
So like, there's people out here. We touched on it a bit, and it's more like you had a question. It was like, yo,
because like I know what goes on out here. I've been coming out here a long time, but the thing that I wanted to put to the forefront is, being from the East Coast, we hear a lot of things, But every time I come here, I'm mostly booked by certain people, and it's you guys, and it's more Spanish promoters and more like, these are the people that still, curate in the culture of the original, tools that we use, and I kind of don't understand it. This is really what it is worldwide too, So like where I come from, it started off in the hood, Puerto Ricans, blacks, Dominicans. And I come here, and being from the East Coast, when we first came here, I was nervous because it wasn't even about a color thing. I was just like, we just from the East Coast, period.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how people was gonna take the, all the polo gear I wear, color wise. I knew I couldn't bring that shit with me.
here I am.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
red.
but see, look, you
No, I know, but today
you
before I
told
left-
me, you told me that one time we was on.
Oh, you saw it in action.
Yeah, and you told me like, oh,
We'll get into that too.
They ain't thinking about you because they know you ain't that. But
Yeah.
Right.
But still, I thought about it. Right. So like, from back then, even in the '90s to now, I can say, as not many black promoters, I can say the biggest promoter black-wise that brought us out here first was Bigger B.
Rest in peace.
Rest
Word
in
up.
peace, the Bigger B, man.
Bigger was
You're a visionary though.
He knew what he was doing from the gate, but it was just the fact that he reached out to the label to bring us out. You know what I'm saying? He had us doing shows. We did another show with him with Wu-Tang.
Yep.
We in there like we just did a show with them.
That
was when Old Dirty came out of the hospital and was on stage with Tommy Hilfiger robe. He had everything Tommy Hilfiger on, but it was just he was talking about he just got out of the hospital, something happened to him. And I was like, wow, but that was because of Bigger.
Yeah.
So like since then, that was like damn, like 94, 95. I can count
era.
on my hand.
Yeah.
I can count on my one hand how many black promoters have booked me and saying to come out here, and it's really crazy because, when you claim the culture and you don't do it, because I mean at the sound of my voice, everybody in New York know what I'm talking about. So it's not always black people at these shows in Manhattan, Brooklyn, nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's an old school show or say somebody putting it together that everybody know. But majority of the time is a mixed crowd and sometimes more mixed than black. Mm-hmm. So when I come here, and I had to say it because it's like, Pawz, you and Owen been bringing me back and forth here for a number of years. And I appreciate y'all for that because and because of what I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't look at me in the way of where people may think, like coming from the East Coast and me being black and working with y'all. Because people think that that's like, especially here, that's not into the culture like that, don't understand how we do, because it's because of the culture. We are in it. So it's almost like with sports.
Right.
You know, I used to watch football back in the day, and you got all these Southern teams, and they playing in the stadium, and you see the flags flying, you see them, you know what that's about, but you still want to play because you love it so much.
Yeah.
This is what's happening right now, and it's a big generation gap with the ages in the hip hop right now. But like, I still say that something has to change in a way of where, like, I understand the age group and where they are, as far as they're not doing the culture. I even went to a party last night.
You
was
was talking about that
no
before the
culture.
show, yeah.
It was no culture in there. I understood where I was at, but it was just to understand, like, my man had to play records and explain, like, we're going to play this one for the aunties. We're going to play this for the OG because they playing old school. Like, yo, just play the music, bro.
So, and you're like, what the fuck you mean the aunties and the OGs?
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
come
this
on,
shit.
Man.
Like,
Just play the records. You know what I'm saying? This is where we at with it. But I wanted to stress, I think people don't want to talk about it, you know what I'm saying, because it's like the big-ass elephant in the room. I mean, hip-hop.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's even that most of the time. I think it's just because people have found pockets to exist in. You know what I mean? Like underground, right? Even as a term, it's almost like you got a whole division now of what hip-hop as a whole might have been thought as in the 90s. This
Yeah,
shit,
like 90s is underground. Now it's like conscious, thug, trap.
It found a way
Yeah,
to
like,
like
damn, and it can't, all these
fucking-
different
oh,
kinds.
man.
create all these little sub genres and branches.
Right.
Well,
lo-fi, emo.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know, what is
yeah,
that?
yeah.
What is this lo-fi thing? I don't
Lo-fi
like
is
that.
just the recoining.
I don't like
right? Right? It's just recoining, and which that's what sucks is that people have found a way. They're like, okay, well, they don't like this term for it. Let's call it this.
it's very high school. It's very high
Yeah.
school in a sense where it's like, well, I'm not.
Well, they're talking shit on old mixes too. That's the fucked up part. They're literally saying that, you know what I mean? Low fidelity.
Yeah,
Lo-fi don't mean nothing else but low fidelity. So
See, but
it's like,
and I think that the way the beats are made, because I've seen a lot of people say, even when I listen to those beats, when I see the little thread come up, and it'll be like a kind of Dilla-ish beat. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And I don't like, how is it like a Dilla sounding beat? How is it low? Motherfucker, it's a beat, and it's dope because it's not a trappy kind of sounding beat. Or, I've been saying this too all since I've been out here. Like, almost what is the West Coast sound today? Because when I say West Coast back home, we know it's the bounce.
yeah, the funk. It's the
Okay,
funk,
okay.
baby.
Yeah,
Yes,
see,
you
that's-
think
that's-
Parliament, you think funk for real. Today, what is just like back home? What is this thing? Dudes don't sound like Brooklyn. Dudes don't sound like Uptown. I come here and I'm listening to the radio like, wow, what is the West Coast sound here today compared to what it was in the 90s?
I hear what you're saying.
The funk still exists. Shout out to the Funk Freaks. They were there that night at the show too. Before we move on to the show thing,
Right.
just to touch on that real quick, I think being blessed to be around the world with you and see all these different cultures and different ethnicities and all this, that's what hip hop was about, so on and so forth. We all know that. It brings everything together. For you to come from one coast to the other that allegedly had beef at a time or whatever, and the whole gang culture and this and that. There was a time when we did a show, and I think it was Oxnard. I want to say I was wearing red or something like that. And I had let you know, like, yo, up here, this is kind of where I let you know, and you and AG, I was telling you, like, look, the politics for us as Mexicans, Hispanics, whatever, is like this. And, this is the role that the blacks play, the whites play, et cetera. Just on that street level, whatever, just so you understand the difference between here and there, because it's not as prevalent on the East Coast. Not to say that there's no tension.
I got you. I got the whole jail system thing too. So.
Yeah, and it's real big. So when a dude came up to me and he was like, he asked where I was from.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, I'm from LA. And he's like, oh, all right, yeah, because you guys come over here, yada, yada. What he meant was dudes from up north
Right.
who predominantly wear red within that culture, et cetera, that whole side of things. So when he asked me that, I was like, yeah, I'm from LA. Like, I had to reiterate, like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, and he ended up taking off. Nothing came of it, but you saw it.
We all stayed around like, damn, what was that about?
You saw it in
'Cause
action.
he saw Pawz from across the street.
Somebody
Like,
sent him.
that
There
was
was two
crazy.
dudes.
That
The
was
OG
crazy.
sent him to see what time it was. Anyway, but you see that going back to the, like, whites, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, etc. Like, at the show the other day, I saw a good little mixture. And it's always dope to see that. Who doesn't want to see that? I don't want to go to a show. If I go to a show where it's all just us, I feel a certain way too, where I'm like, damn, yo, like none of you have Filipino homies, none of you have black friends, like
Right,
really,
right,
like.
right.
So I don't really like that, and I don't like how people try to create these little bubbles where there's division. So, you know, having friends that are mixed and being at shows, and for the promoters, like. I feel like on a business aspect, maybe a lot of them are like, you know what? I'm going to go with this sound because this is what's working. This gets people in the door, et cetera.
That's so many careers summed up right there, man.
Yeah. So I don't think it's anything. It's a combination of things, but just know that we got love for you, and that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I mean, you know what it really comes down to too a lot of the time is like, it depends on when you grew up, right? If you're an 80s baby, you grew up out here when the whole East Coast, West Coast shit was happening. And when that shit was happening, if you had any homies that were thugged out or just around the block on some fun, you know, fucking around being, you know, a little
Knucklehead.
Yeah, a little knucklehead for the better term. You know, they looked at one way of things. And they were like, oh shit, Dre and Pac.
Yeah.
Pac was like this, you know, and that's it.
Right.
You know, so if you was fucking with anything like, say, Tribe or you was fucking
different. You was different.
It was like, oh no, the term was, you know, oh, you a cheese coaster, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah. It was
okay, word.
when that division hit, it was real beyond, like, even in the graph shit, going back to
Yup,
that, where it was
yup.
like, when they paint, they listen to Ice Cube, they listen to this.
Right.
And then, like, if
They're
you're
listening to
paint,
Eazy-E's first album.
yeah,
right.
and when these other dudes paint, they're listening to this. Now, if they happen to run into each other and they're somewhat cool, they see each other's, you know, what tapes they have, or CDs, or whatever their collection, then it's like, oh, okay, I see how you do it, whatever.
But if they not, that shit alone could
Yeah.
spark some shit off.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's funny, like, you know, you saying about Polo, man, all of my boys growing up, right, the cats that I was like, damn, they dress fly and shit like that, they were trying to look like they was from out there.
Right.
You know, they was fucking with the Polo. They was like, shit.
dope.
I remember I was wearing Woo Wear when it came out because I was like, yo, what the fuck? There's Woo Wear out here? Right? You
And
know,
the
as far
booklet,
as
the CD
like
booklet, like
I'll
calling the
grab
number.
whatever. I remember I had a sweater. I wore that shit like a turtle wears its shell. You know what I'm saying? Like I had that motherfucker
And I
on.
think
Like, yo.
Wu-Tang though is like I would think like a group like them is so universal that you don't look at them like they from Staten Island. You just look like they came from the world of Wu.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Period. Like, and they
Its
just
own
happen to
planet,
be called
yeah.
Staten Island.
Yeah.
Well, see, I think that's how we looked at everything that came out there from the 5 boroughs, because to us and how we look at the landscape out here, I mean, you out here, so you see it, it's like we so spread out, it's vast.
Right, very.
Where it's like over there, it's tighter. Everything
And
goes
then,
up.
Yeah, and everybody's
you know,
on
like,
top of each other. And
Yeah.
And this is why, you know, it's like when the label asked us, like, what y'all want to do? Y'all want to do a East Coast promo run first? Or like, we from the East Coast, let's go where we not from.
Yeah.
That was the best thing we could have did, because promo-wise, y'all got everything first. Like, we came out here not even thinking about home, and we was scared, bro. We was in it. We was like, these dudes ain't going like us. And everywhere we went was like, you know, we did all the college, whatever college radio station, we did all of them.
That's
shit.
dope.
Jennifer Norwood, thank you very much. She took us everywhere.
Hell yeah.
And that's when we knew that people was rocking with us. I was like, oh shit. I mean, people calling up when we was freestyling, and they just like, man, y'all can't be from New Jersey. Sounding like, y'all don't sound like y'all. I mean, because at the time, there was no other artists coming from New Jersey talking about anything hip-hop culture-wise, close to graffiti, close to b-boying, anything like that. So, like, I can actually say that me and Tame brought that out of New Jersey, that where we knew that New York didn't think we had a scene. So
there was no Dirty Jersey or New Jerusalem.
Nah, I mean, we was fighting, man. Like, you know, we always tell, even to this day, like, we're right there. So
yeah.
we got influenced by all of the same things that y'all saw, but because we right there, we were trying to prove ourselves to New York because we are right here, you know, graffiti wise, like Tame, Porno, my man J. Rue, Max 165, all these dudes that I've grown up with were the only New Jersey cats doing graffiti, like, immediately. Like, we always say, because New York is right there, when you come to Newark, whether it's Newark Airport, Penn Station, we are first. Once you leave New York, we right there. And so it's like all of the influences there, and then it just went out. So, like, all the other cities, like Trenton, they were all, like, 45 minutes away from us. So
Shit.
they was doing it too, but it's because we right there. We was
You're right across the bridge.
right. So like with me and
basically
Tame,
it's like,
we came here. We went to Con Art.
hell yeah.
And
That's
yo,
what's
listen,
up.
I mean, because
Yeah,
what y'all gotta understand, Tame is the graffiti dude in Artifacts. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a song, we got a song, and he got a line in the song. He said, I'm the art part, you want facts with rap talk to L. And that is very true.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want everybody to know that Tame is one of the most highly respected graffiti artists in New Jersey. And the only one I know that put his name out there to be seen by the world, and that's his name as an MC.
Man, that's a
MC.
big
Yeah.
truth.
So-
that's a
So,
big truth.
Not a lot of
man.
people, and he's showing his face and everything. So
Yeah.
The first time, I remember the first time I went to Jersey, driving, whatever,
Right.
Tame.
Everywhere.
Tame. And I'm like, I'm already thinking like, that's not the same guy.
No,
Right? And
definitely.
And it's
because
everywhere.
because of what he just said. Like, yo, my face is out there. I've been like, I'm a world renowned. I'm in the legendary group. But Tame.
Everywhere.
Tame.
And still,
Like, oh,
and still.
shit.
And still today.
So he's got like landmarks rocking out
Yeah,
there.
bro.
Like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he never, you know, he had his little history, but I'm talking about like that's unheard of. You know,
It is. That's
for
a
any
fact.
graffiti artist.
That's
You
a
know what I'm
fact.
saying?
I mean, if you think about even out here right now, like how many of the
cover their
legends,
face.
yeah, most do. Unless they progress into like art where they're they're out there in the art world. You know,
Yeah, like
Definitely.
Cause. Like this dude Cause, he from
Oh,
Jersey.
yeah.
Cause is from Jersey. And
Word?
I'm just like, yeah.
Cause is from
That's
Jersey
the
City.
super
Oh,
OG.
shit.
Yeah.
That's
He was
dope.
always in the source, right? In the back.
Right. And I mean, like, we would never see that stuff. He was getting up everywhere. It was like, damn. But then to see, man, this dude is crazy right now.
But shit, that Jordan collab is no joke.
He makes little statues. He has like a whole
He got
like
a big one in New York.
yeah,
Crazy.
that's dope.
That's tight, man.
So
Hell
you know
yeah.
that just show you how far the
Abel, we
graph
see you.
scene
What
took
up?
us. The graph scene took us far as hell. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, like even when we went to Con Art, people wanted to see if it was real. Like, can y'all really do that? Like, we went in there and
Well, shit, if you
they had a
went to
wall.
Con Art, yeah.
They had a wall. All the walls were taken. The only one that was available, it had a big ass hole in it. So we was like, all right, we're gonna use that one. And we just made a Flintstone house. It was in the Rap Pages magazine. The hole became the window for the Flintstone house, and Tame he sketched out bricks. We just went in there, just me and him knocked it out. And I remember Redman. Me and him went to a party, and I didn't know he had went to this building. He told me, yo, I went to Con Art, yo. He's like, listen. And we in the car smoking. He looked at me, and he just started grabbing me, pushing all on me. He's like, you don't fucking know. I was so happy when I saw that. He said, I saw you saw the piece. He's like, but did I? He said, I was in there with Mav talking mad shit about you. I'm like, I told you they do this. This is, you know, so he was happy. I was happy, you know, because it
It's
gave
a
us
stamp for the town.
right,
Yes,
right.
yeah.
We did 4080 magazine. They took us out. We went and did a 4080 piece under the underpass, and they was even like, okay, yeah, if we really do it,
I see
real.
that.
It's
yeah.
real.
Yeah, that's what's up. I love that.
Real quick. So being from the era that set off a lot of things, play a game real quick because these cards right here got some of the legendary.
yeah,
So do
yeah.
me a
I
favor.
seen him up there too.
So do me a favor. Close your eyes real quick because I'm sure you've crossed paths with a lot of these legendary acts here too. I want you to close your eyes, pick a card, any card, and I want you to tell a corresponding story. Go ahead. It's right in front of you.
Wow.
Okay, let's see. Who's that? Who'd you get?
Let me get another.
What was that? Terrible.
Yeah, I don't know her.
Who the fuck is
Okay,
that?
yeah.
Tara B.
She probably paid for
I never
this.
seen that one.
Oh, let me read it to you guys real quick.
She don't count.
Los Angeles, California.
J-River Music, what
Popular.
up?
She has a record, Murder She Wrote. Never heard it. Female rapper, got her breakthrough from Eazy-E of NWA, so on and so forth.
Say, what the
remember
All
her.
right,
I
let's
remember her,
reshuffle.
but-
Let's
Yeah,
reshuffle real quick.
reshuffle.
All right, here we go.
That's a dollar bin story right there.
All right, here we go.
I got two.
You got two. We're gonna take one.
Who
And
you got?
Okay.
All right,
I got audio too.
audio too. All right, so do you got a corresponding story with that group?
No.
Influence.
I can say influence. I can say when Colors came out, and I remember I had a tape But I remember also when that
Pawz
came out,
hats mean.
this record came out, and this record was crazy big as far as, but for me, I like the I Don't Care song. I don't know what it was about that. I guess the video, they were moving fast.
I'd like to play it, but they'll flag us.
True. The ways of the internet,
They're
shut you
waiting.
down.
Oh man,
And
Make that move.
later on to find out,
they're gonna play it. Watch.
later on to find out these dudes is brothers, and then MC Light, and just like the whole family situation for us, Audio 2 and the First Priority
So
label.
they're related to MC Light.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Indeed.
There you go.
Boom.
See,
You
Fun
learned
fact.
something today. You're welcome.
Fun fact.
Audio 2 is in the family with MC Light.
That's dope.
That's
I did
so
not
lit.
know that.
Yes, indeed. And
So-
they father ran the label, and when you talk about later on, they were working with King of Chill. So if y'all don't know who King of Chill is, if y'all watch Primo, you see the Killer Clown dude, the mask. That's King of Chill. But King of Chill is like responsible for a lot of
I'm gonna have to look that up.
a lot of First Priority music hits. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Interesting, okay.
Yeah. See, like, I mean, even if I wasn't supposed to say that, I just gave y'all a gem.
It's
No,
another
no,
one.
no.
I
That's
gave y'all a
another
gem.
one. That's what's
You know,
up.
and Audio 2 is probably still one of the only groups to continuously get paid for that one song.
That, like you said earlier.
Yo.
Whether if it's 50 Cent, whether it's just you hear it
Oh,
in the background.
yeah, that's right.
When he
Yeah.
did that song, when 50 did that, my man was like,
That's
he was
it.
kicking off.
Cha-ching.
But they use his beat
I'd have
all
thrown
the
a
time.
party like, yo,
Yeah,
they sampled
yeah.
me, son. We lit.
Oh,
Audio
shit.
2 stays alive like every,
It's hard
every
not
year.
when you hear that song. Like I feel like even kids, like my son heard it, and then it's just involuntary. You're just like,
word, and you just know when it's coming on. Go Brooklyn, go.
That's it. That's
And
it.
even if somebody else uses it, you know it's their record.
So I wanted to ask you about what we talked about because it has to be addressed. Respect is real heavy out here for myself, Asimov. Like,
Yeah.
we discuss things a lot that happen out here,
Right.
And it's hard to really enforce a lot of the code and this, that, the other, but we at least address shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that happened recently at a show was somebody didn't know who you were, and then afterwards wanted to take pictures and this, that, the other. If you want to get into that and kind of explain what happened there, because the internet saw just a post
Right,
of
true.
this.
Right.
And people did respond. I got hit up, you got hit up, word circled around, I got phone calls.
Yeah.
So
Same.
just to kind of clarify that situation if you want.
And this is not even, even bringing the whole thing up, but this is the gap that we have where between artists, like me personally, Pawz, you've been on tour with me, if we on tour, especially when you leave, like, where you from and we all together, we already got to meet up and conversate, like, before we leave, like, because me and Pawz already know each other. Even with that, I still had to let him know everything move-wise that we was doing.
Yep.
We was doing shows where it was opening acts before us too, and we had to get in good with them when we got to the show.
Right.
And everybody gets to do their part. Everybody get their chance to perform. There's a lot of tactics today far as for making money that cats are trying to use, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of things to be learned when you're doing this too. Right. When you go on tour, you really are in somebody else's house, and you have to act accordingly. And you can't just, whether if it was told to any of us about how the show should go, you have to have a respect for all of the artists that's performing on the bill.
Yep.
You can't walk on stage while somebody's performing to talk to the DJ. It's very disrespectful as hell.
It is,
You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how you may feel, like, no other man cheers should make you want to push that dude off the stage because you're ready to get on.
That was a big one. That was a big one. Just as a fan, as a friend, et cetera, all that. Like, it doesn't matter. Even if it wasn't you, if it was Asimov or somebody, and he was on the show and he was getting more love than whatever act, sold tickets or whatever. To see that reaction from another grown man, where it's like, yo, you're that intimidated. Well, just put on a better show.
Right.
DMX, rest in peace. I remember one time I read this, and some people misinterpreted it. They asked him, yo, like, about a big tour. I think it was like him, Jay-Z, I forgot the name of the tour.
Hard Life Knife Tour.
Yeah, there you go. And he was like, they asked him, like, yo, you're going to have to go before this. Are you cool with that? And he's like, he understood the business or whatever. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I don't give a fuck whose show it is. When I'm up there, it's my show.
Word up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on some ego shit. It was just like, yo, We got to try to outdo each other. These people paid good money to see us. So it should be about that as opposed to, yo, like, he's outshining my guy right now, and he paid $500 to be on this tour for this night and this, that, the other. Like, yo, well, have him step his fucking game up.
Word up, man. He didn't even get on yet. You know what I'm saying? That was my whole thing. I'm like, look, first of all, you know, I don't want to find out, like, as soon as I get on stage that I only got 4 songs. And I'm, like, looking at the playlist. I'm like, oh, it says, like, all of the songs are there, though. So, like, unless something magically happened where all the tracks disappeared, that's the only reason why we're doing 4 songs.
Yeah.
And it was told to the DJ to tell me, but I didn't find out till I get on stage. So I'm trying to figure out.
That's a hell of a funny feeling, right?
Right, yeah, because I'm on stage now, so I had to turn my back to the crowd, and I'm like, you know, we talking about what 4 songs I'm supposed to be doing because I'm thinking that I'm going to do all these other ones. So you know, it shouldn't be that kind of pressure. Like it should be a lot more communication because. Even when I first got there, all the people saw me that's involved in the show. Like, you know, you on next. I'm okay, cool. Can somebody have told me that I only have 4 songs? Maybe if I would have got there prior to the time of me getting on stage, if I would have found that out, I'm honestly going to say I probably would have had a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because it's not about somebody's one tour that you're going to just tell everybody else that they can't get their time because you want it all the time to be about you, and that's not how tours go. Tours go like that, motherfuckers be fighting. Backstage, and then you got bad energy throughout the rest of the tour because y'all still gonna see each other every night. This, I didn't have to. I didn't have to see nobody after that. But it was just the fact that, you know, only when I got off stage was it addressed that, oh, I didn't know that was you. Right. You know what I mean? And then like, okay, but then the next thing was like, okay, but I know you from the movie Kids soundtrack. No, like there were no words. So you can't say you know the song. You know the beat.
Yeah.
So like, you know, but I never think that everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? Like who me and Tame. So, but because it was acknowledged, you know what I mean? Like, so did you not know who I was on the flyer from the beginning? Because it do say, you know, my name up there too. I'm not just chopped liver on the thing with y'all.
Yeah, and your name is pretty prominent.
Right, and that's not me on no blowing horn and
that was
fucking
me.
orchestra shit. No,
that was me. I made the flag.
But even with that, because
true story.
But Pawz know me. Like I'm straight up. Like I really look at this shit like what it is for me, man. It's a job first. It's a fucking job, and at any job you have to love what you're doing at your job. If you don't want to be in this for purity first, and you just trying to get your bread, you will lose and you will crash and burn. People will notice that about you. It's not genuine what you're doing no more because a lot of people doing this on a professional level still don't get the money they need to get or they deserve.
Right.
So these people that's like me, you sometimes take L's. Sometimes you may not get everything you feel like you may be deserved, but you keep going. But you don't burn bridges and you make enemies for, I won't say this too, for nigga pennies. How much money I really got that night? You know what I'm saying? Any night. When you on this tour, if you're not guaranteed a certain amount and you want to build with other people and you got to do tactics to strong arm the money, then that means that you're not really in it for none of these other people that's here tonight, even to see all the other artists.
Right.
So these things got to be taken into account because when people get wind of that, then other shit start happening.
That's what makes it hard to book.
Right.
Going back to what you said originally.
Yeah. So like promoters know these things are happening because I said it in my other posts. You know, promoters talk to each other.
Right.
Because they see like if they want to book the show, they're gonna ask you like, how were they? How was this? How was that? And they're gonna be honest. And whether it was good or bad, these things are discussed in the market of doing shows.
Facts.
And if you don't think about that when you ruffling these feathers, you could leave and you're not coming back, but it probably won't come back.
Yeah.
Probably won't come back if, you know, this gets out into the public. You
Word
know,
spreads,
and sometimes when you don't know who you're working with or dealing with, this is why I never take lightly doing any features, working with people, interviews, doing stuff like this. I always take everything seriously because you never know who these people are in their own right.
Yeah.
Where when they seeing people, you know, even saying like, yo, what happened? Like you said, you know, I'm getting phone calls and they're like, yo, L ain't even on. yo, was you fighting? Like, nah, it wasn't even, the word in the post really meant what it said, because it was a lot of things that was going on that I didn't know about until I got there, and even still finding out about. So if I had to have a sit down with anybody, I would just address the fact that y'all gotta really understand, like, you know, everybody grown. I was older than like mostly everybody in the club that night, besides probably the dude that owned the spot or something like that, or maybe a bartender. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But it's just like, I'm not asking for nothing except for like I told them when I did speak. Like, yo, it's just, I felt disrespected because nobody didn't take into the fact that even if y'all wanted to get on, it's people in the crowd that came to the show to see me too.
Yeah, that was a big one where it's like, how do you like, but again, maybe they were intimidated by that, knowing as soon as you started performing, because I was outside and I saw the energy before you went on.
Yeah.
Then I saw you perform. You know, I'm outside watching it from the patio. But then as soon as they could hear the music outside, you start to see people go
inside.
Yeah.
And then you start to see the movement, you know, and then you're like, there it is. Like, so you have to acknowledge that, like, yo, they know the shit. They came to see him.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy themselves. Like,
Word.
You're going to be, you know, offended by the fact that he's stealing the show. Well, then put on a better show.
Because I had just got there. So it's like, you know, my thing still, like, when you don't know who somebody is, you know, even still, like, just, like, let me do my thing. Y'all gonna get y'all time. You know, I'm not changing nothing in y'all show
Sister
or anybody's
Asia, what
show.
up?
You know what I mean? Like, we all got our set time. Like, I knew every night I was here, I did a half hour.
Yeah.
You know, because now, and I'm like, damn, 9:30 we getting rushed? 9? I'm like, it's not even midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's like, you know, I'm feeling like everybody got ample time to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I didn't make nothing of it. You know, so like when everything started happening, I was like, oh shit, okay. So I just let it be what it was. But then, you know, I would say a lot of things came out of it. You know, I like the fact that I got a call and just, you know, was able to express myself. And it just, sometimes, you know, I can't say everything is a misunderstanding, but when you focused on one thing, when you focusing on that bag, this is what money do, yo, man. That money will, you know, have you do shit that you don't even realize you're doing. Like, cause it turned into like, what happened? What we do? I was like, you don't even realize it because you were chasing that bag. It's other people involved in the show. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I say, because we got to chase the promoter around the club sometimes too when we do our shows. You know what I'm saying? Pause, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got before that show.
But see, it's crazy when you got to play like promoter and performer.
But guess
and
what?
Shit like that. That's so much.
We don't have, there's no, you know what I'm saying? We making this known now. Everybody at this table know, because we all do our own business. Everybody, because I don't know, you know, I could probably speak for Pawz, but there's no management at this table.
No, there's no
booking agent. Only my man Bram in Europe. That's like,
Yeah.
and he's you know, he got his own company. So we always working together. So like, everything y'all see us doing, you know, everything we doing is self-done, self-made. We putting our own money in. There's no road manager to go to say, like, go take care of that. You know what I'm saying? I've been through that where you paying extra money to people, but I think that at this point where I'm at, where we all at, you know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you want to have a road manager and then another side road, you're going to be paying them money to do that shit and come with you too. So you really going to have to start being self-sufficient and saying that I can't take 5-6 dudes with me to, you know, on the road because it's not efficient for my pocket. So like, I'm going to come with like just probably 2 or 3. And you know, try to stack your bread, because when it's like the way you know, these I call them tactics, you know, you have to maneuver in a certain way where, like, you know, like I said, we don't have nobody calling us like, yo, I'm setting this up for you, this is, you know, I'm gonna call you and let you know this how much you're gonna get. We are doing this all on our own.
Yep.
Nobody doing no fucking string pulling. There's no wizard in the back with the curtain and shit like that.
Yeah.
So we doing all this our own, and I a lot of my friends are like us. Shabam is like me. Stars like me. I could go down the whole damn list of people. Indigo. I mean, like, and it's funny because this shit went to Atlanta too. I was like, damn, like, you know, because I know
Word travels. Yeah.
I know Shabam coming out here, but because we all, IG is the smallest world ever.
Ever.
So we all seeing what each other doing. We all follow each other. So the word gets out fast. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, when we doing, I don't bother nobody. I don't get in nobody's shit. I don't, you know, I do my own thing. I rock with my friends. Anybody I'm working with are my friends. So, you know.
But you won't be disrespected.
Nah, that's the thing.
Let that be known.
We don't no disrespect at all because we all know what we're doing, but we are also family. So and you see how it is. You see how it is when there's no family in the building. It was no control.
That's
so
wild.
the event after this, I'm gonna ask my co-host Asimov. All right, so being that L is gonna be the judge of.
Now we can't judge my role. We can't judge my role right now.
All right, so
shit.
L,
can't judge.
so L's gonna judge Blunt Sport, which is our blunt rolling contest that we got, and it's our second sesh, Pawz on Podcast sesh, here in downtown LA, Levitate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you ready for that?
I'm ready, bro.
Okay.
I know they're gonna probably have somebody out there with the biggest damn blunt.
Nah. See, that's why
Like
we
this.
keep it control, man. They can only use a swisher because you know, like cats be rolling backwards, and they think that if they roll like you know the Goodyear blimp, that means oh yeah, that shit. No.
It's Messy Marvin style.
Yeah, I don't need no baby football in my hand. Like, you know what I'm saying?
gotta
like,
cut both ends.
Yeah, man. Nah, I'm good. I like that shit to look like it came out the packaging. Even with a backwood, like the shit came with a shape. You know what I mean? Cats be out. You know, like I remember when I first started fucking around with backwoods, I was like, oh shit, okay, I'm over here trying to do it like I would use a
Regular
swisher.
L, right.
You know, so I'm over here, okay, we'll take this off. Damn, this shit
They got the
dry.
veins. Yeah, man. The veins. in there.
Oh yeah, and then cats would like try to smash the vein, man. Fuck all of that. I was
Word,
like, no, there's got to be a better way to do this. You know what I mean?
It's not.
Yeah, there is. You get frontal leaf, and you
Right,
say,
there
fuck
you go.
all of that
Yep.
shit.
And
You know what I mean?
cut that shit in the form you wanted to have it.
Yes,
It's going to be very interesting because I know we were doing it the last time, and then this girl, she wanted to sign up. She's like, oh, you guys are using swishers.
right.
Never mind. She walks away, but hold on. She walks away. She misses a majority of the contest, and she comes back with this fantastic blunt rolled out of a backwood. And she goes, yeah, if you guys were using backwoods.
Yeah, you know how long that would have took you to do that too?
So we
It
do
took her that long.
Yeah.
Think about how it is. Like, the
Get
whole
it that perfect.
The
You
whole
had-
last
yeah.
contest and shit.
So
like,
so we do it based off of time. We give everybody the same amount of weed, so we
Yep.
like it to be nice and full.
Yep.
The way it looks, like you said, it's got to have a shape to it, but also, how does it burn? Because there was dudes real quick, and it looked pretty
Oh,
good,
man.
and they fired it up, and it just
Hey, but you know what?
all
We
of a
had
sudden.
one cat though that he came in there like a ninja, and he was just all smiles. And dude was like,
Oh shit.
Damn.
There was a couple.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Shorty who won the last one. Like, man, she was really
Oh,
on
yeah.
point, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a female that took it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So when
really.
she came in, she was like, yeah, I want to sign up. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, you know what? You might be the first girl to sign up and win. I said that right when she signed up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe that gave her the confidence, but she took it.
yeah,
I'd
because
like to see
we
her
had
come
we
back.
had we had another female that she went pretty far too, but unfortunately she didn't get it at the very end. But yo, she was definitely with it, and she was a chef. So I was like, okay, you already got hands in one
Chef
arena.
Aaron,
Yeah, you feel me? Like, oh man, that's dope.
So that's gonna be fun. We're gonna have that, and then rock a couple joints. You got the artifacts gear.
Mark, we see you. What up, my guy? Yes, sir.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. Street Product, Dose. Crippled Avenger.
Everybody,
J-Roz.
everybody.
So
Salute.
Yes,
so
sir.
from here, you're going after we knock this out. You got
Shannon,
a bunch
what
of
up?
stuff in San Diego.
Yeah, actually, I'm doing 3 pop-ups out there. It's funny because originally I had those separate, and when you and Owen hit me up about the early show, I was like, cool, you know what? I'll go there and do that. And then I was gonna go back home, and then something just like, why would I go back home, fly back and then come back, but go to San Diego? So
Yeah,
I was
that
like, let me
makes
just
sense.
stay here and rock out, and that's why I'm, it helped out. It was better. I got to hang out and spend some time with my friends out here. And today is just like I got a couple more days, but today is like I've been looking forward to today.
Yeah,
That's right.
Get to
That's
relax.
right. Very much so.
That's right.
This food. Shout out to Ono Grinds and Eats.
Yes, sir.
It's good weed, edibles, all that. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be
we're
lovely.
gonna have meetings and everything today, man. We're gonna get these things
Everything,
popping.
man.
'Cause I see you got the
peanut butter
bites. Yes, I want to try
Yeah,
those.
Stone Dart, right? Yeah, Stone
So
Dart bringing that.
the album. Somebody I forgot what it was. Somebody brought it up, and then I heard it brought up somewhere else. Is it Buck Wild?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so like the album is done. Just waiting for this pressing, man. It's crazy. Like a lot of vinyl getting made. I hit the dude up a couple of days ago. He said, yo, it's at the pressing plant. It's getting done. So, yeah, 10 joints, all produced by Buck Wild, DITC.
Wow.
Us going back to our future, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You know, we did a lot with Buck, man, early. You know, just to even have Busta Rhymes on the remix.
So you got Busta Rhymes. You got Busta Rhymes on the remix.
Yeah. On the first joint, the second song, "Come On to Get Down," and but actually Busta got on there because he was like, "Look, you know, we did a show with them, a tour, college tour, Morgan State College. We did it like a retail run, and on this bus was us, Jay-Z, Original Flavor, KMD. So Doom, you know, Doom was on the bus. Hard to Obtain, TCF Crew.
One bus?
Just one bus, and
Big ass bus though, like a real bus.
And I don't tell this story a lot. We was on the bus, and we had a radio. We the only ones on the bus with a radio. Buster sitting in the front, and this is leaders. And so he's like, yo, bring the radio to the front. So we go up there, and we like, damn, what the hell? We going into some shit we don't even know.
Yeah.
We go in there, and, you know, he's snatched the radio out of my hand. He's like, yo, so, I heard of y'all. Artifacts, right? We was like, yeah. I be on Stretch and Bobito. He's like, yeah. And we looking around, there's all the other hip-hop shit around us. Like, oh, shit, okay. So he played like 4 songs. He played Heavy Ammunition, played Wrong Side, and maybe Naughty Headed Niggas, but when he got to Come On to Get Down, he got through like the first couple of lines, and he stopped it. And he looked around, and he rewound that shit. It was a tape, so shit taking mad long. He looking and shit, he's just like holding the button down, again, let it go. Got further into it, so my first verse went through. He was like, stopped it, brought it back again. I'm like, damn, what the fuck?
Processing.
So everybody is on the bus. Like I said, all those names. We all sitting crowded around by the radio, and he let it play on Tame Park. Stopped it again, rewound it again. Like damn. So now he listens to the whole song. After it's over, he's like, yo, if y'all do a remix for this song, I want to be on it.
He was probably writing his rhyme in his head as he was listening.
Whatever
to
was going on,
like
whatever was going on with him and Leaders at the time. It came out that day on the bus, like totally, like he's saying, I'm about to do this shit for real by myself. And we was on the spot, like, damn.
Yeah, sure.
Like, what did we say? What did we say? I'm like, all right, cool. And then, you know, we got off the bus. We do the show. We get back on the bus. He didn't get back on. He said, yo, I'm staying out here. You know, give me your number. I'm dead serious. I want to be on it. Okay, fast forward. Record comes out. Time for the remix. I called him like, yo, you that shit still saying what you say?
Yeah.
Still want to do it?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I do. Oh, cool, bet. Let's go. So I tell the label, they couldn't believe it, but you got to understand, they didn't know who Busta was outside of leaders of the new school. And
right.
Here go another same situation. The label didn't want to do a video.
What?
Elektra didn't want to do a video.
Wow.
Atlantic didn't want to do a video, but we telling him like, yo, he's about to do this, that, and the third. Trust me, like, you know, he come from leaders in the new school. Why wouldn't he do good by this guy?
Yeah.
Me and Tame knew that he was going to go solo.
Yeah.
But we knew that who he was. And because at the time, I guess they had split up, Atlantic wasn't trying to hear, you know, because he wasn't Busta Rhymes now today.
We're trying to support that move,
but but for us,
you knew, yeah,
we know who he is and what he's capable of, and y'all not listening to it. So, like, you know, he agreed to the price we gave him. Song got done. Wow. Shit became like the remix of the year. I mean, like, even Stretch and Bobito said it, you know, and it's just. Even if we knew them, it's just the fact that we pulled something off like that, you know.
Hell yeah, to say that you got the, man, come on.
And a lot of people, still to this day, he does that song on stage. So
that's dope.
And because we knew his history of him being that kind of MC, we knew it would work with what we were doing, even when we did it in the studio.
Yeah.
He's like, "L, come in the booth with me." I mean, he coming in the booth with me and Tane, like, "What y'all got? What y'all got?" and I'm dead ass. And this is his respect for me and Tane of just hearing about us being on Stretch and Bobito.
That's fucking dope.
Because the only songs he heard was what we played him on the bus where the album wasn't done yet.
Damn.
So that's where I'm saying, like, where he didn't know us from a can of paint but he knew us from lyrically. He didn't know us, like, because when we went on that bus ride, only record me and Tane had out was the Do You Want to Hear It? Nubian Crackers record. So we performed that. There was no wrong side of the track to do. It was only Do You Want to Hear It? That's what we was doing.
Damn.
That's a like the homie said, Tales from the Tour Bus. Shout out to Moonshine Records. Shout out to the homie Henry, everybody that's tuned in. Tell them a little bit more about the album when it's going to come out.
Yeah, so the album, I'm waiting for this date. It's coming soon. It was supposed to be in the spring, and then it turned into the summer. So I'm now just like, yo, you tell me, because I ain't going to keep telling people what season is coming, and then I don't have a date. So I'm waiting for the date now.
Vinyl?
Yes, there will be vinyl.
Sure,
all forms of, how they say, digital formats, all that. It's going to be all in everything. Vinyl, tape, CD, it's coming.
Tight. Hell yeah.
And other than that, I got me and Sadat about to work on the next XL project, which will be called Double XL.
That's tight. Yeah.
Next Size Up. I got an album with my man Mint Plus, producer from Jersey. I got an album, and I got a date for this one. Me and Jake Palumbo album, Solving Cases, comes out September 24th.
I love that name right there.
Yeah, and Jake's name is always a play on the Columbo. You know what I'm saying? His name, but we really gonna do it on some,
detective.
Yeah. To cover everything, we doing straight Law and Order. We gonna have the chain with the badge, everything. So
I like that.
I got an album coming with my man Tony Galvin. May he rest in peace. He's from Miami. He was living in Atlanta when he passed away. I got a bunch of people on this album. Shabam is on the album. I got Star on the hook on the album. I got my man Scam is on the record. I got Moni Love, Ashley on the verse on the record.
Dope.
Wow. Yeah. So y'all gonna like that one. It's just, I've been doing a lot of work during the pandemic, just recording and just actually preparing for this moment, like far as opening up. And even when I was doing these pop-ups, I just really was like, how can I replace the show and still make some bread, but at the same time keep everything going?
That's
so
facts.
I was like, let me, I started reaching out. My first ones I did was in Chicago. I called a couple of people. My man Maker, salute to him, Quella Maker. I asked him to reach out to some stores. He hit up the Silver Room and Shady Rest Records in Chicago. I did 2 in-stores in one day. They were successful, and I was happy with that because I was scared. I was like, yo, I'm about to guinea pig myself and see what the hell is going to happen.
Right.
So it worked out, and then I got the ones coming out here in San Diego. I got a few coming up July 3rd. I'm going to be in Detroit with my man Aztec. We're going to be doing out there a pop-up there. That next week, July 10th, I'll be in Memphis doing a pop-up with my boy DJ Hush. July 30th and the 31st, I'll be in D.C. doing a pop-up with my man Jeremy in the Hip Hop Museum in D.C.
Yes, sir.
And the next one after that will be August 7th in Chicago. At the Hyatt Park Records.
That's what I'm talking about,
So
man.
just trying to make some things
All
happen.
you hear is WORK. Like,
Yeah, bro.
like double capital, italicized and bold. Like,
He won't
that's
say
what I'm talking
it. He
about.
won't-
Though. I got to
he
give
won't-
it up, man. Like
He won't say it, but I will. He's out working the young dudes.
I'm not going to
yo,
say it.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not,
out- he's out working
like,
them.
respect, man. That's the fuck I'm talking
I'm not
about.
going to say it.
Well,
But
shit.
that's dope because you're still spreading it, man. And it's still gonna get out there. Like like you were saying earlier about the disconnect. Funny thing is like you notice right now, there's a trend towards at least like a lot of what the '90s sounded like. So it's just a matter of time and timing.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I never really look at I just look at the fact that if you're still able to make records, make records. You know what I'm saying? And be good at
All
it.
that work you just put in this last year is a proof of that. I mean, you got one coming out, a whole joint with Buckwild. That's
I
fire.
mean, me and Tame did that. We recorded that in my basement, in my house. Shout out to my man Big Joker. He
Yes,
recorded all the
sir.
verses for us.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. It's just like I said, this is all work.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna say to y'all is what we put into it is what we get out, and I say we because there's a lot of people like myself. I happen to come from a group, and
What up, Klutz?
you know I just try to like maintain the brand of the group, you know, and you know just keep this going till I'm done. I mean, like when my phone stop ringing and the emails stop asking me for verses and the booking stops, then that's when I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
So up to,
till
until
then,
then,
keep
you know,
it
like
pushing,
yo,
yeah.
the fucking, you know, I'm gonna tell you that this is like a train. I tell everybody this. So if things happen bad to me, if misunderstood things happen to me, I always chalk it up to calling the front of the car, get these motherfuckers with that shovel and throw these coals on that fire because the motherfucker is going hard. It's like, yo, I'm like, and I got all these cabooses back here with all my friends in them, and that's why we still working. And you know what I'm saying? If I got to be the inspiration for everybody, I'm more or less a Capricorn, and I work hard. I mean, it's like you see them pictures of the goats hanging on the side of the mountain, damn, they look like about to fall off, but they're not. They're not. So that's I'm one of those. You know, I feel as though, you know, it's still a lot of energy left in me to do this. This is not a young man's game. I don't know who thought it was, because the people that's doing the best work is the ones that's older. You look at all the records that have been coming out through the years. You know, the Lox put out an album that was phenomenal. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a brother like Pete Rock still making beats, working with younger artists, still showing producers that he still got heat for today.
Doing dope shit.
You know,
yes,
and is, you know, Gang Primo out there still working. He's doing, and when I see him working with A$AP Ferg and all, you know, I see him working with all these little young dudes, I'm like, look, he's showing them too. Like, look, y'all got to work with me. It ain't me working with y'all.
Yeah.
So, but it has to be still.
That joint you're talking about too is really dope.
Yep,
The one with him and Ferg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he just brought Ferg into a whole nother atmosphere that he didn't think he could probably be in. Because if you look at it, the underground is the only source of music that will really like embrace their artists if they feel like they doing the right thing toward the music.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, A$AP, TDE, they had a sound where you heard it and you heard something familiar. You're like, ooh, I like that shit.
Right, and that's why
I remember Fuck.
That's why all the guys get into J. Cole, like they get into the Kendrick, because they give them remnants of what shit used to be like.
Yeah,
you know, whereas like we feel like they paying attention to the beginnings of what made things the way they are now. It's funny because it's like I equate all this shit to sports. So when you look at all the older players, they know they didn't get that much bread and to bust their ass.
Yeah,
and that's why when you see cats like Shaq and them on TV talking about the basketball players today, and they make them look like little crybabies because they for real, we used to get it in back in the day, but they can say it because they did it. So there's no reason to get mad at the older dude because they talking like that. It's just that we feel like we still got something to show y'all and teach y'all where y'all can learn. Like, look, if y'all do this shit this way, you be way better off, because at the end of the day, you want to keep doing it.
Yeah,
and I've been doing this shit for over 25 years, more. So there's a reason why that is.
The word is legacy.
And I don't, like I said, I don't toot no horn. I just say what's factual and why I'm sitting at the table today, why I still have many friends in this shit. Like, I'm not a crab dude, you know what I'm saying, where I feel like, you know, I have to be fake to people to make them get into me. I mean, I've met a lot of people over my 25 years of doing this shit, and the only reason why I'm still able to do it is because of the respect I have for people that still book me, people that want to work with me, whether it's a DJ want to drop, I don't give a fuck what it is. If it's that, and it's because you know where I'm coming from, and I'm working with you.
Yep, off top. And that is definitely...
The train's still running.
A word to the wise.
So we
coal on the fire all the time.
Even
when you think it's not, that shit like, hey, yo, I gotta wake up, coal on the fire. It's time to go. It's time to go.
So the next thing is the sesh.
It's time to get hot.
Let's do it.
So we finna slide over. We may go live from there.
I think we
on
might.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's just a hint.
Y'all gonna see us. You see, we up now. Probably later, I'll be a little different.
Yo, when we get over there, we'll go live and we'll tell them the story when we got blessed with so much weed, but we crossed to a different country. We had to leave it.
There you go. There you go.
That was crazy.
We'll catch you shortly.
Elder Sensei, Asimov, Pawz 1. We're out of here.
Yes, sir.